I've spoken of 1,000 points of light.
Dream and 1,000 points of light.
I'm very proud to be here with my President of the United States, who keeps his word, and we thank you very much, sir.
That's great honor.
And we thank you very much, sir.
That's great honor.
All the rhetoric you used to hear, the 1,000 points of light. What the hell was that, by the way? 1,000 points of light. I never quite got that one. Say, what the hell is that? Has anyone ever figured that one out?
I've heard this kind of talk before, but I never expected to hear it in America.
This fellow seems to know what he's talking about. What are we real Americans going to do about it? You'll find it right here in this little pamphlet. The truth about Negroes and foreigners. The truth about the Catholic Church.
Do you believe in that kind of talk?
Oh, makes pretty good sense to me. And I tell you, friends, we'll never be able to call this country our own until it's a country without. Without what? Yeah, without what? Without Negroes. Without alien foreigners. Without Catholics. Without Freemasons. You know these Masons. What's wrong with the Masons? I'm a Mason. Hey, that fellow's talking about me.
And that makes a difference, doesn't it?
These are your enemies. These are the people who are trying to take over our country. Now you know them. You know what they stand for. And it's up to you and me to fight them. Fight them and destroy them before they destroy us. Thank you.
Before he said Masons, you were ready to agree with him.
Well, yes, but he was talking about... What about those other people?
But in this country, we have no other people. We are American people.
What about you? You aren't American, are you?
I was born in Hungary, but now I am an American citizen. And I have seen what this kind of talk can do. I saw it in Berlin.
What were you doing there?
I was a professor at the university. I heard the same words we have heard today. But I was a fool then. I thought Nazis were crazy people, stupid fanatics. But unfortunately, it was not so. You see, they knew that they were not strong enough to conquer a unified country. So they split Germany into small groups. They used prejudice as a practical weapon to cripple the nation. Of course, that was not easy to do. They had to work hard to do it. You see, we human beings are not born with prejudices. Always they are made for us. Made by someone who wants something. Remember that when you hear this kind of talk. Somebody is going to get something out of it. And it isn't going to be you.
If you do, I'll defend you in court. Don't worry about it. In the good old days, this doesn't happen because they used to treat them very, very rough. And when they protested once, you know, they would not do it again so easily. We've become weak. We've become weak. And you know what? The audience swung back. And I thought it was very, very appropriate. The audience hit back. And that's what we need a little bit more of now. Part of the problem and part of the reason it takes so long is nobody wants to hurt each other anymore, right?
Do you believe that you've done anything to create a tone where this kind of violence would be encouraged?
I hope not. I truly hope not. Get him out, troublemaker.
Clashing with protesters who reject the vision of America Trump is selling.
Why do you tell him to sit up? Why you tell him to sit up? You do. You just said it. It ain't worth it arguing with these liberal nuts.
Amid the flying insults about liberal nuts, you hear,
it's us against them.
It's us against them.
Building a wall, which you characterize very well. In my view, it's immoral, expensive, ineffective, and not something that people do between countries.
Opinions vary on the political acumen of President Trump. Many seek to portray him as bumbling or inexperienced. Others see him as a master strategist and someone who knows how to make the media do a certain story.
No, not fear-mongering at all. Immigration is a very important subject, and we are thinking very seriously, immediately, stopping aid to those countries, because frankly, they're doing nothing for the American people. Immigration is a very, very big and very dangerous, a really dangerous topic. As far as the caravan is concerned, our military is out. We have about 5,000 aid. We'll go up to anywhere between 10 and 15,000 military personnel on top of Border Patrol, ICE, and everybody else at the border.
America has no right to decide who lives within its borders. Americans lack the moral standing to make that decision. We are too sinful. Illegal immigrants come here because we deserve it. We meddled in their wars in the 1980s. We had the gall to get addicted to the drugs they send us. We once had segregation in the American South. Whatever, the point is, this is a fallen country.
We have people coming into the country or trying to come in. We're stopping a lot of them. But we're taking people out of the country. You wouldn't believe how bad these people are. These aren't people. These are animals. And we're taking them out of the country at a level and at a rate that's never happened before. And because of the weak laws, they come in fast. We get them, we release them, we get them again, we bring them out. It's crazy. The dumbest laws, as I said before, the dumbest laws on immigration in the world.
Is such a strong one in this region, the most powerful by far. It is definitely a reason for people to seek a better life, they say here. The migrants telling CGTN that repeatedly in the past week during our coverage. The numbers of people coming through here have absolutely been impressive. According to local government figures, this is according to a census conducted by the municipal government here in Suchiate, they say that more than 7,000 migrants have passed through here in the last week alone. Earlier today, CGTN interviewed the mayor of the town of Suchiate, and here's what she had to say about the number of children crossing through here.
Me quedé impresionada. I was impressed once I knew the numbers. They're not scientific and could be higher. A little more than 2,300 children arrived here in Suchiate. What would you have done?
Mike, the families of those children are keenly aware that there has been a child separation policy in the United States when detentions do take place. Still, they insist they're going to try to make it all the way to the United States.
Exactly where we are. Behind me, this converted warehouse is the first stop for many of the undocumented families caught at the southern border. It's where federal officials try to weed out criminals. An executive officer at this center told us, and by the way, look at this center. It's a nondescript, unmarked building, and that it is built that way for a reason. They don't want you to know exactly what happens behind that building. The 55,000 square foot facility can hold about 1,500 people. Yesterday, more than 1,000 were being processed here. That includes more than 500 families, 197 unaccompanied children. David Begnaud was part of a select group of reporters who got to see inside the facility. So, David, what did you see? It was rare that they let you inside. What did you see?
Yeah, we saw people in cages.
Cages?
Cages. They looked like animal kennels. We could not record anything. We couldn't talk to anyone. All they allowed us to do was take notes. So here's what we saw. There were cages with fathers and kids. There were other cages with mothers and kids. In one place, there was a cage of just children. Unaccompanied minors were told that crossed the border alone. Some had blank looks on their faces. Some were smiling and walking around. We had 15 minutes to document everything.
These are the images the government gave us to show you of the Rio Grande Valley Processing Center. The facility appears to be clean and sterile. Children and adults are seen huddled together in the building that's divided up into chain-link fencing that looks like a cage.
People. These aren't people. These are animals.